Hey everybody, it's Christy from Mentally Kills back with another interview. Really excited about this one. I have Angie here to meet you guys today, so I'm going to bring her up. Let's say hello. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Hectic day. I'm sure you understand. We vibe really
Absolutely.
well. We know how it goes. So we're a little stressed out,
Absolutely.
but we still cute, and that's what matters. Okay,
That's it. That's it,
period.
girl. That's it. Turn up
Okay,
this volume.
period. So I like to start our interviews by giving you the floor to kind of tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Who is Angie Mitchell? Let's see. I
Let's find
am
out.
an author. I am a speaker. I'm an international best-selling author, excuse me. And I'm a speaker. I am a certified master life and business coach. Oh my goodness. I am the director of marketing and sales at Victoria Shoe Press. And I am the owner and CEO of Back to Her, which is a personal development academy where I help women entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, coaches. I help them to identify their expertise and package it and create group coaching businesses and products and that.
Wow. I would have been better off asking you what you didn't do.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to
You're,
tell you, girl.
you're a one woman powerhouse, and I love it. I'm here for it. I love it.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
now when it comes to mental health, how does that affect your life?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed in 2019, I believe it was. Even though I, of course, have had it for many years and just didn't know what it was. Anxiety, depression, all of those together kept me like in a really dark place. With depression, it's like you're in a cave. You know what I mean? You're in a dark cave and you're looking up and you think, I want to get up there, but you can't get up there. You know what I mean? And that's what it's been. Before I actually got treatment, before I actually was able to recognize what I had going on. It affected my business. I had businesses in the past that I couldn't even show up for. You know what I mean? Because I was depressed. I was anxious. I was afraid of what was happening. Bipolar disorder, you have manic highs, you got depressive lows, and I was mostly low. So it affected, like I said, my personal life, my professional life. I wasn't able to show up in my business, and it was a struggle. It was definitely a struggle.
So, when it comes to those struggles and those kind of, it's lagging a little bit, those struggles and those dark periods that you kind of went through where it affected your business and it affected your life, did you seek help for that, or did you kind of find your own way of getting back up and starting over again?
I did seek help. At first, let me say this though. Initially, I did not want to seek help. I don't know, if you guys are familiar, but in the Black community, we kind of think we're going to pray it
Don't
away.
say
You know
anything.
what I mean? And we, push it under the rug. There's a lot of stigma. You got to be strong. You got to be this. You got to be that. So I didn't seek help for a long time. I really didn't seek help, I think, until 2019. And this is when I said, you know what, I'm going to my primary. I need a referral. I need to go get some help. And that's exactly what I did. I started counseling, medication, and here I am. And here I am. You know what I mean?
And that's
Better.
really brave. So you should be proud of yourself. Very brave.
Absolutely.
Especially, and I group it as a whole to say minority community, they don't speak up. They don't say anything. It's definitely, don't make a wave, don't make a so-called mess, but
Mhm.
you feel a mess and you should say something. But there's that
Absolutely.
church involved and things like that, and the faith and the spirit that is, yes, a part of you and can help you on your journey, but sometimes a little more is needed. And that's kind of where the difference is. So it takes a
Mhm.
lot of bravery to do that. So you should be very proud of yourself to
I
start.
am. I am. I've come a long way. I tell you that. I have come a long way over these past couple of years. So, and it's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Now I'm sitting here with you.
Yes. Two bad A word, B words, two
There we
boss
go.
ladies. We're in
That's
here.
it. That's it.
So beyond that, you have your back to her, and is that kind of everything you have in one?
It kind of is, but not really. Back to Her actually started off as Out of the Shadows. I started this group a couple of years ago because I was coming out of the shadows. This is when I started getting treatment. This is when I participated in my first anthology And I was coming out of that depressive period. I was getting back to her, back to the woman that I was before the anxiety and the depression, brought me all the way down. Before the bipolar disorder had me thinking I just couldn't do anything, and that I couldn't get past that point in my life. And that's really what it was about, me supporting other women who I know are going through it. I knew it wasn't just me, you know what I mean, that was going through these trials and tribulations with my mental health. And so that really is what Back to Her started off as. Now we have transitioned to where I'm helping, women entrepreneurs and coaches and all of that other stuff to use what they have, basically, to move on in their life, to use their expertise and all of that stuff after we done got back to her and got over all of life's crap, and got back from that. And so we're using our skills and our talents to just build businesses and build boss brands. So that's what we're doing over there at Back to Her.
That's beautiful, because you know why? The biggest issue with mental health is support. We want support.
Absolutely.
And you're like, guess what? I'm giving you all this support. And you're getting no option. You're going to take it. I'm just kidding. But you're giving that overflow because now your cup is full. And now you're giving that overflow. And that's beautiful. A lot of people miss that mark. Their cup is full, then their cup is full. But you can give when your cup is full. And that's kind of where it kind of divides people. It's like humbling yourself. You've been through struggles and you don't want to see other people go through struggles. So you do everything you can to try to help. And I love that. I love that energy. So when it comes to being, and I just have a sidebar on this, a best-selling author. Number one, wow, amazing. It's like a dream of mine. But number two, how did you navigate that? Was that during a time when you were still getting your diagnosis and kind of managing things, or was it after, now that you had a crisp mind? Or
it was actually like during that time. I got officially diagnosed maybe in October of 2019. I started with the anthology, I want to say in April or May of 2020, where I really started and got into it and joined I was following this amazing coach, and she helped me get into it, and she really helped me get over those struggles. She helped me see who I was. When you are struggling with mental health disorders and anxiety and all of that stuff, you don't see who you are. You know what I mean? You kind of forget yourself, you lose yourself, and she helped me find myself again. And writing that chapter, just a little piece, you know what I mean, of my life, being able to share that little piece was therapeutic for me, because I know I was helping other people. And so then I became a best-selling author, and I kind of just rode the wave, man. And it helped move me forward too. That definitely helped me. It gives me, a greater sense of purpose. That was something I always wanted to do, was to become an author. I didn't care if it was best-selling or otherwise, but that was a bonus. So yeah.
I love that. And it gives you, that sense of purpose and accomplishment, like you said, because a lot of the times, especially mental health, we don't feel like we're worth anything, to have something like that, it just completely flips the narrative,
Yes, it does.
in your brain, and I love that.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to, let's say, coping mechanisms, because we all still have dark periods, even when your cup is full, of course. Is there anything that you do that you've kind of learned along the way to help with those?
Meditation, self-awareness. My big thing though is meditation. When I feel overwhelmed and I feel like the walls may be closing in, I stop and I take a minute. You know what I mean? I try to always remain aware of what's going on in the present. A lot of times when you're looking back, that's where that depression creeps in, because you're like, oh my goodness, I coulda, shoulda, woulda done this. If you're looking too far forward, you're going to get anxious of what's going to happen next. So I stay in the present. I stay in the present as much as possible. I meditate as much as possible. And I rely on my faith as much, and not even as much as possible. I definitely rely on my faith. I'm not like a religious Bible thumper, all of that other stuff. But
a higher power is a higher power.
That's it. And that's it. And I know that there's something higher and something greater, that's keeping me. And that's keeping me here and helping me, just to stay level. And that's what it is. Meditation and prayer and mindfulness.
And faith. Yeah. I love that. I love that.
That's it.
So when it comes to this Facebook group that you have too,
Mhm.
because you did mention this. So I'm going to put it up back to her. What does
Yes.
it include, and how
Could you
like
say,
how did this?
you kind of blinked out. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said when it comes to your Facebook group and
Mhm.
how it was made and what its purpose is it the same kind of as your website?
Yeah, yeah, actually it is. On my website, there's a little there I have a blog on my website. My programs are on my website. Back to Her is kind of like the support side. You know what I mean? The support and the education, where I may come in and do a training on social media presence, or using it to build your brand, or building a boss brand, or just a variety of different teachings that I go in there and do. But my main component is the support. You know what I mean? The support, the sisterhood. Women. I am a proponent of women supporting women. I don't care, who you are. If you're a woman, I'm here to support you, man. I'm
And
here,
I'm on
and
my way to
this
join that group right after this. So
I'm gonna have to send you an invite. Yeah, that's what it's all about, and we're growing. Like I said, I started in one direction, and everyone is still they rocking with me, and we're moving in another direction, to where we're supporting more women entrepreneurs. I mean, we have blown up over these past couple years, during this pandemic and during COVID, and women out here getting it, man. You know what I mean? And we need that support.
yeah. And it's beautiful that you're given that platform to do it.
Yeah,
And you know what? I always believe that when you do things with good intent, it comes back to you tenfold.
absolutely, absolutely.
So waiting for them blessings because they're coming, girl. Oh,
And they coming. They keep coming. Let me tell you something. They keep coming. They shooting from every direction.
that's
Yeah.
right. And I love that. I love hearing that. Um, Beyond that, you kind of answered all my questions. I'm trying to think of anything else I could ask because we've talked about your coping mechanisms and what you do when you have those, like little flash or symptoms. You have many accomplishments despite your mental health conditions, and you got diagnosed later in life. Was it
Yeah.
something that you had symptoms on earlier in life, or it didn't really affect you until more recently, towards in
Oh, no, no,
2019?
no, no. I had the symptoms. I just didn't know what they were. You know what I mean? And how to navigate them and what I should be looking for. I didn't know
Got
when sometimes my anger would become explosive, that there was a reason for that. I didn't know that when I was in mania and my mind was all over the place and I'm starting a bunch of different, projects and stuff, that there was a reason for that. I didn't
it.
know. And so once I was able to know, that's where the difference came in. But it's always been there. And when I look back, I'm like, wait a minute, this really has been going on for years and years.
Yeah.
I'm 50 years old, and it has been going on for the better part of my adult life. I just didn't know what it was.
Well, I'm glad that you got that recognition and you got that understanding for yourself because now you're spreading the understanding to others, and that's important too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I guess for the little last part of our interview, I will drop out and give you a few minutes to address everybody. Tell them what you think they should know, and then I'll give my final thought, and we'll go from there.
Okay. All right. So you know what I think everybody should know, especially ladies. That's who I talk to. I'm not ignoring men. But my mission is to empower and inspire other women to excellence. So if you are struggling with your mental health, with anxiety, with depression, with bipolar, whatever it is you're struggling with, you need to know that there is help. You should get help, and that you're not alone. There are other women like you. There are other people like you, and there are people waiting to hear your story, to hear your story of overcoming, to hear your story of getting to the other side, right? And when you get to that other side, it's your job to go back and get somebody else. And that's why I do what I do. I made it to the other side of the pain, and it's my job to go back and get as many of my sisters as I can. And that's really it, man. If you are looking for help, if you need help, if you need that support, you can reach out to me. I think, yeah, my stuff is scrolling across the bottom. You can reach out to me, and hopefully we can get you the support and the help that you need. And that's just it. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay in that dark place. There's love in that light. There's love in the light. There's light at the end of that tunnel. And so that's it. That's all I got, man.
That was beautifully said. Well, thank you so much for coming on and giving us hope that there is support out there, because sometimes it doesn't feel that way. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate your time and pretty soon your expertise, because I am sliding right into that group. um, and beyond that, I'm going to give my final word and I'll be right back with you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much again.
And thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Mhm. So to end this one, I gotta say, probably one of the most powerful women in energy that I've met and in spirit. She is one of those people you could tell will tell you about yourself. So tread carefully. Remember that you have to hold yourself accountable if you want to move forward. If you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, be that light. It's there. It's inside you. You just have to remember it's there. And remember that if your cup is full, to share it. If your cup's overflowing, it's wasting. Give it to someone who might not have a full cup like you. With that being said, I'm Christy. This has been another Mentally Kills interview. I'll see you on the next one.